Hey everybody, blueprints, trophy guides. We're gonna take a look at dare mode. I've already shown you how to unlock dare mode. Essentially all you need to do is once you get to room 46 the first time, you will be able to draft a gift shop room. And in that gift shop there's a couple things on display, things you can buy. And one of those things is a stuffed little Swimbird plushie, basically. I think it costs 114 coins or something like that. Again, I'll show you in the video, either before in this video or in a previous video. Hey folks, just jumping in here to show you purchasing the plushie. I also want to mention in this first day, I show the puzzle for the Gem Cavern unlock, the Apple Orchard combination lock, and the conservatory floor plan, where that's located and how to get to it. I think that's the only things that I kind of show in this one. But at this point, if you're unlocking dare mode, you probably know all this stuff anyway. All right, back to the show. Anyway, that unlocks dare mode. That's all you need to do. And so in order to carry out the dare mode, same thing with any day one runs that you're going to try to do. Day one, you select bequest mode here on a new game file. And then here we're going to select dare mode. We'll also look at cursed mode later on. I have not unlocked it on this account. I have already completed all three, day one, curse mode, and dare mode on my main account, and I do have those videos ready to go if these aren't as useful. But my dare mode run, it went longer than an hour, and this and because of it, it cut off the first pretty much 3 levels of room choices on my final successful day. So the way dare mode works, and we're just going to go ahead and get started here. The way dare mode works is you are going to get a series of dares, and it's going to be 4 days. Each day you're going to get a new dare, and you have to get to the 4th and final dare before you can actually reach room 46. So essentially it is a 4-day run under some challenging circumstances. So there's a very good possibility that the first dare or the 3rd dare, the 4th dare, whatever, is going to be something that's going to make it pretty much impossible to complete. So that we're going to look and see what we get and talk through it. But essentially, there is randomized dares that you're going to get in the morning from a letter that's in the entrance hall, and you have to follow those rules. If it says you can never draft a boiler room, or you have to spend all your gems by the end of the day, if you get to the end of the day and you have a gem left and you call it a day, then it's basically going to start that day over for you, because you would have failed dare mode. And you're going to know when you fail dare mode, because you're going to hear Simon say something very sad. He's like, "Oh, and I thought it was going to be a great day, but it was not." I don't remember what he says. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, you're going to get a dare on day one and follow through, get that done. And, as long as it doesn't prohibit you from doing so, you can unlock the Apple Orchard, you can unlock the Gem Cavern, you can start working on the chess puzzle if you really want to. I don't know if that would help you, but there's a lot of the main game stuff you can do, as long as it doesn't break any of the restrictions given to you by the dares. So we are going to I'm going to actually cut this cutscene out, because I'm not as superstitious with dare mode as I am with day one. And so it is impossible to do day one on dare mode, because you can't get to room 46. So keep that in mind. Here is our blueprint. And here is our dare. Open only if you dare. I dare you to always pick the first floor plan while drafting in the entrance hall. This one's pretty simple, though you could have a very quick day if you get 3 dead ends, obviously. But it's a rule that's pretty easy to follow otherwise. And it just makes that first decision you need to make when you start any day a whole lot easier. And as it says, let's take a look here. It says reach from room 46 without failing any of the following dares. You see that there's 4 dares. At the start of each day, a new dare will be revealed and added to the above dare list. All 4 dares on the list must be revealed before entering room 46. If even a single dare is broken, the challenge will be considered failed. And you do not need to restart from day 1. If you fail, say, a dare on day 3, you'll just start that day again. And we'll take a look at that, because I'm sure we will fail at least 1 dare. And hopefully this is a recording that we keep. So let's see. So, very simple. We're just going to pick the first choice here on each of these. Guest bedroom, nice. That's a dead end, but hopefully we can rise above. And spare room. I actually like that. I like that a lot. Let me just double check here. So I dare to always pick the first floor plan while drafting in the entrance hall. Okay, so we followed that. And from here on out, today, we can do whatever we want. If I get garage, I can open up the outer room, which I would prefer. If I can make it happen today, because one of the dares could be you're never allowed to leave out of the entrance hall front door. And there's a lot of other things. There's no restrictions on how many gems or keys or any other resources we're supposed to have. So I think we're sitting pretty. I think we're going to do pretty good for this one. It's a good start. So let's get things kicked off here. So unlike curse mode, we have all 50 and now we have 60 steps. Sledgehammer, we can open up that trunk. But no shovel yet. Now I'm playing this after playing up to day 51. It's like a day or 2 after Christmas. In like kind of the main run of this game here. So I've got 70 to 90 steps every single day. I've got 2 to 4 gems as I start the day. I have an allowance of like almost 60 coins. So I may hopefully I don't overshoot my shot over here and kind of absentmindedly just think, oh, it'll be simple to get things done here, because that is not the case. But it's a heck of a lot easier than day 1, because you have at least 4 days to play with. It's a heck of a lot easier than curse, because you start that with 13 steps, and every choice you make takes away a resource, pretty much. Unless you are picking a blue room. Okay, so laboratory wouldn't be too bad of a choice, but I don't want to give away any gems yet. And to be honest, we're doing okay. We have 57 steps. We're just starting out here, and we have no restrictions we need to really worry about today. So I'm going to go ahead and use a dead end room. I like workshop. I like workshop for what we can possibly do with it. And it looks like we got the battery in there. That is actually pretty fantastic. If we get the lever and we get garage and roll tomb, we could have everything ready to go to just waltz into room 46. Let's keep that in mind. Let's not get too excited, but because I've had day one runs that feel like this, and of course they all end in utter pain and suffering. Again, I don't want to give away too many of my gems too early. Heck, let's do it. So the trick with Secret Passage, if you pick Hallway, one of them, especially if you do it on the east or west, eastern or westernmost column, you could get Foyer as a choice, but you still have to pay the 2 gems. And with the green rooms, you could get a cloister for free, which we have here, or you could get aquarium for free, or you could just simply roll aquarium, and aquarium's good because it'll give you more steps. But just for giggles, we're gonna go with cloister because it's free. Let's go ahead and grab the. Ooh, sorry about that. Let's grab the allowance. I don't really foresee there being any dare that like do not start the day with money in your pocket. That would be really weird. Alright, before I go any further, I do like that as an option. And I know I'm kind of burning a couple steps here absent-mindedly, but I do kind of want to get to the bottom corner here. Observatory never very useful on day one, and I can't really. So you have 1 coin, and then 2 trunks, and then 3 steps, and then a gem. So if we're only playing for 4 days, observatory is probably not that useful to us. So I'm going to go for pantry, a little bit extra cash, and a couple extra steps. Always good. Here, I probably should go with drawing room, but I kind of like parlor because I want to get more gems in our pocket. Also, church would have been good. Whoops. Sorry about that. Church would have been good, because, or chapel, I mean, because of the 2 doors, but we want to hold on to some money. This statement appears on another box. That means this one is... Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's wrong. I should open this one. Oh, well. Well, that was a waste. And these both point down. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? I'm gonna buy this shovel. Always good to have. And we'll hold there. Alright, well, I screwed it up a little bit, unfortunately. That can happen sometimes when you're recording. All right, I'm going to go up workshop and just go as far as we can there. Let's get the battery. We do want to head over to the West Hall side because we definitely want to get a garage as soon as possible. All right, I guess we'll go for utility closet then. This is seeming a little bit less likely to work in our favor. All right, let's go ahead and set this up. I did that wrong. Well, I guess we'll just do it this way. I don't, I can't remember how to do this. There we go. Okay. There, and then red, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. There we go. And then red, purple. Blue, green. Yeah, I screwed it up again. I don't remember exactly how to get it the first time. Red, then purple. Like, it seems like you always have to kind of switch it around like that. There's the gem cavern. It's unlikely we will do the chest puzzle area. It's probably not going to be very helpful. Definitely going to want to make sure we have a gem before we get to the west side. Pretty good for the first day to get secret garden and billiard room. Very good. All right, now we want to be able to go to the left. At least security oh, see, darn it. All right, I don't like that at all. Don't like that at all. Security would have been perfect if we had a gem, but we don't. Alright, so we can either... Well, let's try Nook. I definitely missed my breakfast Nook here. Get 10 extra steps. Morning room. Alright, now we have to go on a hope and a prayer that this is going to send us in the right direction. Or at least keep us alive. Oh, why did I not go into that other room? Hold on. I forgot to try this door. That's not very helpful. I'd like to hold on to those ivory dice. That's a waste. You know what? I'm going to pick lavatory. Just burn that room to get it over with. That way it's one less thing to worry about later. Alright, hallway. Very good. Now we are down to 24 steps somehow. Ooh, you know what? I like that. Secret garden will give us some fruits. Some dig spots. And an antechamber door open, but can't really do too much about that. Yeah, we're gonna go with chapel to leave some options open. I'm not loving how quickly I kind of blasted through those steps, so I'm gonna try to see what I can do on this side while also hopefully getting some gems. You know what, I'm gonna go with bunk room here. And we do get 2 gems, good. Generally, I like library on day 1 because it seems to open up some decent rare rooms. Ooh, 1 key. We're getting pretty close. Alright, I'm gonna go for servants' quarters. This may end up blocking us out of getting any further up there, but I'm honestly okay with that. I'm kind of more focused on trying to get to the garage. We are definitely running out of steps. We'll get an upgrade disc if we get garage. It's a little risky, but we can go for it. And then if we get an option for a room with 1 gem, like this here, we're going to go for it. And we get garage. This is fantastic, actually. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we do miss out on those 2 rooms there. In fact, oh my goodness, I have dead-ended myself completely. Well, that is unfortunate. Okay, well, the only thing we can do is hope for the possibility of getting a broken lever and maybe making a power hammer before we run out of steps, but probably not going to happen. Again, luckily there is not any rules about how we have to end our day. So with 11 steps, we're going to go, we're going to get tomb, we're going to move the minecart. And we're going to be that close to, we could also probably get apple orchard. Possibly. We're certainly going to try. Alright, let's see. We don't get it in 1, but we get it in 2. But I also absentmindedly dead-ended myself in the house, so that's going to be it for that. Alright, 9 steps. I only really need probably 5 to get in and out of here. A shoe. Thank you for the shoe. That's very nice of you. Looking for dig spots real quick before we start opening it up. Alright, we'll get started here. Pick these up in the event that I can actually use them, but probably won't be able to. Alright, so that is really all we can do on this side. And unless we had pump room, we could go to the other side and hit the lever and be good to go. But again, we're not going to get to room 46. We can't. The only thing I could attempt, and I should be able to, at least let's open up the path, the gate, the west gate, and see if we can get over to the apple orchard before we run out of steps. I might duck into the house and see if I can grab some fruit. If I can make it. So that's going to be a big help. Alright, now the question is, where am I going to go to get... I bet if I went to the courtyard, that would probably have bedroom, courtyard, den. I'd probably get some fruit in one of those. Oh, there is a banana right here. And an apple. And a banana. Okay. That's enough to get us over to the apple orchard. 10 steps should do it. Now in curse mode, the apple orchard is not usable. I believe, I'm pretty sure, the apple orchard is good to go on dare mode. Let's go ahead and find out. May as well also grab conservatory. Being able to adjust the rarity of some rooms might be helpful. Looks like we are good to go here. And there you go. You know what? We're here. We have just enough. Just enough steps, we may as well. Again, this probably won't really help us, but who knows? Maybe we'll get burning glass and we can kind of make an extra shortcut in the underground. So we'll just, I'm going to see what day 2 dare is, and then we'll end the recording, and I'll stop for the day, and we will return. I will likely record the next day or two, just, you know, the highlights, just so we can kind of take a look at, you know, any tips or anything that happens that's kind of useful to show. But there's no way I'm going to get all 4 days in here in an hour-long recording. So, all right, we're ending the day, and we ended it the proper way. And, you know, we could get to the point where day 1, I mean, dare 2 or dare 3 might be so impossible, it might not be worth it. But that was a really good first day. You know, if I was a little bit smarter about my room choices, maybe I wouldn't have ended up dead ending myself. And I was a little too gung-ho about getting garage, because I had 2 of the 3 items I needed and the workshop to make Power Hammer. I kind of got a little excited there. We do have allowance, but, you know, let me read and see what there is. I dare you to open an empty box in each parlor you draft. Ooh, okay, interesting. So, that means you need to pick a box that does not have gems in it in the parlor. So fail the parlor game, which should be easy enough to do, especially on day 2, 3, and 4. It should be easy enough to figure out which one is the correct one and just not pick it. And that means we're going to be out of 2 gems for each day. So hopefully we can get gems other ways. But again, that's an easy thing to do. Very easy task. We will pick the first 3 rooms that are presented to us here in the entrance hall, and then we will try to get to the other side, try to get the power hammer, or try to get the pump room and get things ready so that we can go from both sides of the underground and get everything ready to go. Maybe we'll even get the foundation, who knows. All right, so I'll put in any highlights from days 2, 3, 4 and on. My original account, it took me till day 6 to get this. Day 6, yeah, I got it in day 6, and then day 7 I got the trophy. So this will take at least four days, possibly 4 to 5 hours of playing. So we'll break it down and we'll show you the good parts. All right, we'll see you then. Coming right back in for commentary. So we're just going to basically show you the beginning and ending of some of the first, I think, 6 days, and then we're going to go to the day where I actually succeed in completing it. This is, I guess, the end of day 2, right? Because we already know what the second dare is, and that was to make sure to pick an empty box in the parlor. So here, I think we're dead ending. Didn't get high enough to get any more steps, but also, what are we going to do with those steps? We got nowhere to go. We got the sledgehammer and the broken lever this time, but not the battery. And workshop. I don't even see workshop on here, so probably not. But we're going to get it soon enough. This is the beginning of day 3. Of course, we have our 70 steps, if I didn't point that out, on day 2 for the apple orchard that we already unlocked. And now we have I dare you to never ride elevators. So here's the situation with this one. It's not really that big of a deal, to be honest. In fact, all 4 of these dares are some of the easiest dares that you could get. And the 4th one's a little trickier, but it's fine. So what this means is never riding an elevator means 2 things. You can't turn the power on in the boiler room, and you can't use the elevator to go down to the underground from the foundation. So that's the only 2 places where you're going to be in a situation where you're riding an elevator. This is the lavatory. We're going to talk about all the different dares you could get, but one of them, funny enough, is to spend 30 seconds in the lavatory. We don't get that dare, but it's one of the trickier ones because you have to make sure you never pick the shelter for your dare. But this is the end of day 3. This is how day 3 ended. We got garage again, and we didn't get very far. Again, we got the broken lever, but no sledgehammer. We got a key card and sleeping mask and running shoes. I probably purchased. I don't see a commissary, so I guess not. We'll call it a day. So yeah, you're supposed to spend 30 seconds in the lavatory every day after you get that dare. And I don't normally spend 30 seconds in the lavatory, but on dare mode, a really interesting, kind of scary thing happens when you do that for 30 seconds, at least the first time. So that was kind of interesting. So hopefully you don't get that dare, but if you do, remember you can't pick the shelter as your outer room ever, because you have to go into the lavatory and it has to be kind of the unsheltered lavatory, otherwise you break the dare. And our fourth dare is, I dare you to never draft from a door facing south, which means you can never go down a rank in the floor plan from any room. So if you're going across, if you're going zigzag, whatever, you can't ever pick a room and go down. You can see here in the corners, I didn't even bother with the corners. At the end of day 4, this is how it ended. We pretty much got a dead end on rank 4. The 3 rooms we had to pick at the beginning made us miss out on the bottom corners, but of course I made sure not to pick a room that headed to the south anyway, because we couldn't do anything with it. I got aquarium, hallway, courtyard, and I guess maid's chamber was probably one of the last things I got. And furnace, goodness gracious. So we from day 1 we have the minecart moved. We have half of what we need. The only thing left that we need is a passageway to the other side, and we are going to get that soon enough. But not until day 6, I believe. Here's day 5. So from here on out, you have those 4 dares, and at any point now, once you have the option to get to the lever for 46, you can hit it and you can run to room 46 and get the dare. I mean, we could have gotten it at the end of day 4 as well. So these are the 4. They're not going to ever change, and we're not going to add any more to it. I don't think I mentioned it during the first day run, but there is a laboratory experiment where you could add extra dares. So, look into that if you're into it. So here's pretty much the end of day 5. I got pretty much dead-ended, and all we have left is the boiler room. Of course, the billiard room's heading south, so we can't use that door. But the problem with the boiler room is it's a door that I can't get to because I can't access the walkway. I can access the walkway. This is true, isn't it? No, I can't get to that door because I would have to take the elevator to open up the other side so I can walk across the walkway that is not extended at the moment. So that's the doorway. That's our way out and up. But unfortunately, in order to get there, we would have to break the rule of using the elevator. The elevator's just off to the side. Well, actually, it's in front of us, but we can't see the elevator because it's upstairs. So I decided to do this just to show you what happens when you fail a dare. So you're going to see me fail the second or third. I don't remember which one the elevator is. I think it's the third. Right, because the second one's the gem one. You're going to see me fail this dare on purpose, just to show you what happens. Of course, I had to do this part like twice in order to reach the valve. Thanks to day 1 runs, I am able to do this a lot faster than I'm doing it right now. Got very used to turning the boiler room on. Alright, so simple enough. That's the elevator. We are going to sacrifice the run here. And then you're going to hear Simon say such a sad, sad thing about dare to dream or something like that. As soon as we get up the elevator. I don't know what I was expecting to do with the time here. I definitely gave myself enough time to gab. And of course, here's the floor plan. Boiler room. Okay, let's get on the elevator. Here we go. All right, I'm going to stay quiet so you can hear what he says. Yes, 4 dares. Got it. Don't use the elevator. Here we go.
And I will say goodbye to my dreams and the sea, and wonder why daring feels just like defeat.
I think it's a little much. It's a little much. And we get this sad swim bird. Oh, he's so sad, looking at the water because he can't swim. And it says game over, but it's not really game over. It's just restart the day. It would be a completely different thing, and I would not put it past Tonda Ross and anyone else involved in this game to make you start dare mode from day one again if you ever fail a dare. Makes perfect sense, to be honest. But luckily, this is not a complete rogue. This is a rogue light. And you basically start at the beginning of day 5 again. Not a ton of benefits. It's not like you get the same room choices, but the parlor puzzle would be the same. Yeah, I mean, a couple things that are usually randomized would play out the same way. But here's the funny bit. So that dare was to not ride an elevator. And as I mentioned, there's only 2 elevators in the game that I can think of, unless there's a third one. And there might be. That was the boiler room that we just used. This is the end of our second attempt at day 5, and I don't know what the heck I was doing here. This is the the trading post, and if you see the floor plan, I'm going to show you the floor plan in a minute, or at least when we end the day, you can see the conference room has a way up. I have no idea what I was doing. I have 37 steps. I got a shovel and a metal detector. I came to the trading post for some reason. Or maybe I was hoping to get garage again. I don't know. But for some reason I stopped going towards the antechamber from the conference room. I had 6 keys. Maybe I only got those 6 keys there, but I do want to point out the other very funny thing. The foundation showed up on day 5. A room that I can't use to get to where I need to go, but at least the foundation has some nice dig spots. And it's a 3-door room. So at least it helps us out in that way. This is day 6, and we are heading towards room 46's lever. Here are the 8 sigil doors. You can see my guide on the Trophy of Sigils on how to get all the keys for that and how to solve the puzzles. Here is the cutscene for opening the antechamber blocked door to room 46. And then we're going to run back. I think, yes, I do show you running back through the house. But unfortunately, we don't have any of the antechamber doors open. So, kind of a futile run here, but at least everything now is in place. And the way that this worked was thankfully to a power hammer. We were able to make the power hammer on this run and go through this railroad tunnel area. And of course here, once I made the walkway to get to the button, that green button up on top there, I did not make sure that there was a clear path down here, but it's almost impossible to really get stuck here. So there we go. We're good to go. I thought twice about maybe digging up Lost and Found, but I also realized I didn't have a shovel, so I couldn't do that. I also have burning glass, and I don't think I used it on anything on this run. Oh, I did use it on one thing, and that was I used it in the chapel, didn't I? You can use burning glass in the chapel, and it's neat to do so. Yeah, you can see I did it. But it's a one-time deal, and once you do that, you can't reap the benefits of what that gives you more than once. Once you break something, it's broken for good. It doesn't save you any money. So here we are, day 10. Oh, this is it. This is the end. We're at the lever, and we have made a successful run straight up the west side. And we lucked out, and we got to we got Secret Garden on the way up there. I believe I got the Secret Garden key out of a chest in, I want to say, like an early bedroom, or maybe the den. I don't know for sure, but that was that, and that's how it worked on day 10, going straight up the west side, and just making a beeline up there. You can see we didn't go down south. We picked the first room in the entrance halls. We didn't use any elevators. We didn't even bother getting close to the foundation. No boiler room there, and so forth. There's the den. I didn't go up from the den, which makes me think I probably didn't get the Secret Garden key there. But anyway, a lot of other options, but we just went and made a beeline up the west side. So, and luckily we got library and then pool, and we were able to waltz right in and finish dare mode. I'm going to continue, and you're going to see the dare mode trophy be awarded. And then I'm going to show you after that how to, and it says the next day when you win one of these. Day 1, when you get the day 1 trophy, when you get the cursed mode trophy, and when you get the dare bird trophy as well. Here's our inheritance trophy, and the letter we get from Great Uncle Herbert. And here's our dares again. Familiar with them enough. And then you're going to see me get the Dare Bird trophy. So while this is playing, and as I'm showing you kind of working towards Blackbridge Grotto on my main account, before I explain what's going on there, let's just go through the list of dares. And this I found on the Blueprints wiki. I imagine it's all of the dares, all of the known dares. Here's here's day 1 through day 10, by the way. And the foundation it's invisible for the first few days, but I don't know why it shows up on day 1 through 5, because it wasn't there until day 5. You can even see some of the days there's a room on top of it, so I'm not sure why they did that, but anyway, the foundation ended up being a permanent thing on our second run of day 5, after we failed it on purpose with that dare, and then day 6 and so forth. So and you can kind of see my failed attempts on 7, 8, and 9. They're nothing really to talk about. So let me talk to you about the dares. And I'm going to try to go through them as quickly as possible. Always pick the first floor plan in the entrance hall. We already have that one. Never draft den after you get it. Oh well. Never touch the center door in the entrance hall, so just the west and east doors to start each day. not to step foot in the pool. I imagine you can draft it. You just can't enter the room. So you could draft it and then use that as it opens up the pump room. Use that to possibly get to room 46. Open an empty box in each parlor you draft. We already have that one. Press no more than one switch or button in the utility closet, meaning you can turn the garage on one day, you can turn the dark room back on another day, and you could use it to turn the security doors off. But you can't do more than one of those things each day. Press only correct numbers in the billiard room. Pretty simple, especially in the first 4 or 5 days. It's all simple math. But if you get it wrong, you have to restart the day. Here's the next level. According to the Blueprints wiki, I don't know if I mentioned that or not. We're using this website here that's listed it. Always have at least 20 steps. So if you fall below 20 steps, you fail the dare. Draft the most expensive floor plan when you have more than 3 or more gems. So that could be a little tricky. You could end up having no gems right away. End each day with at least 1 gem. That one stinks, because sometimes you got to spend gems, and if you get to the point where you have no other gems you can get, and you're at 0 gems, then you're gonna have to fail the dare, and restart again. Make exactly 1 purchase or trade in each shop you draft. Now this one is interesting because the aquarium, you cannot draft the aquarium. If you draft the aquarium, you lose the dare because you can't do anything. You can't purchase anything in that room, even though it is every room, including a shop. So if you get that dare, just make sure never to draft the aquarium. Never draft from a door facing south. We are familiar with that one. And never eat fruit again. Kind of stinks because fruit's really great. I like fruit. And I like the steps it gives you in this game. Here are the hard ones. Always draft a red room when one is drawn. That, no thanks. Draft 6 different colored rooms each day. That one I had in my main account, and it didn't really end up being too much of a problem. I didn't mind it at all. And it is the 6 different. Black does not count. Leave the Mount Holly blueprint on the entrance hall table. That means you can never look at what you're drafting. Stinks. Never draft all 5 rooms in a rank. I think I had that at one time too. And open each locked trunk in your house each day. That is a huge waste of keys. Spend 30 seconds each day in the lavatory without leaving. Must not be sheltered. We already talked about that a little bit, but if you get that, just make sure you do not pick the shelter in the outer room. You have to spend 30 seconds in the bathroom every single day before you end the day. 5 more dares to talk about briefly, but let's touch on what's going on here. So we're in Blackbridge Grotto, which you unlock from the laboratory. Once it's powered up, you hit 2 switches in there. You can go in here and you can get into the admin menus by going and using one of the passwords from one of the administrators. Capital MOOR, capital R is the best one to use. And you can go in here and you can transfer your trophy data through the data files. We're selecting the second save slot, and we're selecting Darebird Trophy, and we're importing that to our main list of trophies from our run that we've been working on for about 50 in-game days. So you'll want to do this when you do curse mode, when you do day 1, Trophy of Speed if you get that in day 2 or day 3 on a new save slot, and of course for Darebird Trophy, which we just did. So important to keep that in mind. So let's quickly touch on the last 5. These are the ones that could basically give you a reason to restart your run. End each day with 0 keys, 0 gems, and 0 coins. A lot harder on the money side. Gems and keys are easy to get rid of. Never enter a room more than 3 times. That's very difficult. Never exit the house from the entrance hall. If you don't get garage, you're basically screwed, or if you can't use foundation. And never have more than 2 special items in your inventory. That one got me on my main account a couple times. And then never ride elevators, which we already saw. Here are the trophies that we already have on this account. And you can see the Dare Bird was already moved over there. So hopefully I didn't go through those too quickly. Hopefully you don't struggle with Dare mode. And see you in the next one. Take care.